What's up, y'all? Night's Edge here. Trying out a new angle for the sharpening. I didn't know if this would kind of help show the blade a little better while it's being sharpened from the top down. We'll go ahead and get the YouTube info out there. That's the channel you're watching, Night's Edge. Hit the like button if you like the video. Subscribe if you want more content. I really appreciate everyone that's subscribed. It helps the channel out a lot. It helps me out a lot. Instagram, TikTok, email, all that stuff's linked down below in the description. So you can, if you want to contact me, you can get a hold of me on the email or Instagram DM. Anyway, today we have this is a Civivi Qubit. Now this is the one in Damascus. This isn't the, I think the regular is ARPM 9 maybe. I might be wrong about that. But that is the Damascus. Now this thing, I did sharpen it, but I sharpened it to the angle that Civivi put on there. All right, so I dulled it up once pretty quick, and then I sharpened it to a high grit. I don't know if you could, let's see if you can see it. You can kind of see it's got like a shine to it, you know. It looks like a super sharp edge, you know. It's got a kind of a mirror reflectivity to it. Looks really sharp, really clean. But check this out. It won't even cut paper, right? So it kind of skates along the paper. So what I think I did is I think I went too high with that grit on there. So what I'm gonna do today is try to remedy that, and I'm gonna sharpen it at a little bit of a steeper angle, but I'm gonna sharpen it to I think 600 or probably, I don't know, I might do a final pass with 1500 depending on the results. But anyway, let's go ahead and put it in there. All right, tighten it down. Now you don't want to get it super tight just yet, because I'm still trying to see if I can get the angle right. So you kind of just want to put the knife in there at first snug. I know I go through this redundantly in all the sharpening videos I do with the KME, but you know, just in case somebody's watching that hasn't seen one before or whatever. So kind of put in there to where it's fairly loose, you know, snug but not tight. So what you're trying to do is get the center of this lined up with the center of the blade right there. Right, so the center of the edge of the knife needs to be center with this. Now you can get a tape measure and you can measure this and make sure halfway point is lined up, but it looks like it's pretty lined up right there, like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it up. Tighten this little nut that's on the back here up. This thing that compresses that spring, kind of puts a little more tension on it. All right, I was thinking it's moving a little bit if I try to, but it's not moving that much. So I think it's pretty secure there, the way it looks. So all right, now I'll get the 1500 out first, just to try to see what angle that I put on here last time. I can't remember what angle that I put on here last time. And let me get my angle, a little digital angle finder here. Tells you the angle that you're sharpening at. So you want to put this on the base and zero it out. You put your rod, your holder in there, and after you zero it out with the base, it'll tell you what angle you're sitting at. All right, so right now I'm sitting at center of the knife, center of the blade, right at 16.9. So it's pretty much right where I want to be as far as sliciness goes. I like my angles for my everyday carry pocket knives right around 17 degrees. That's a pretty good angle. So I don't think that's bad at all. So I'm not even going to need to use the marker. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 1500 back out, I'm gonna go back down to the 140. We'll reprofile this edge here. Put kind of a grittier finish on it. Now you can hear you can definitely hear the stone on the metal kind of skating like that. Now I think that was the one problem with the final grit that I had on this thing before, was that it was kind of skatey, right? So if you put too fine of a grit on an edge, it will become skatey to where whenever you try to cut through material, it just slides across it because it's too fine and it doesn't have that bite. Now I might actually have to swap over. Let's see what kind of burr I got here. Say I might have to swap over. Oh, I hit the tripod. Sorry about that. I'm gonna say I might have to swap over to the beast, they call it, the 50 grit, which is a lower. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That kind of eliminates some time whenever you're trying to sharpen there. So the beast, this one, I think I used that last time maybe, but the beast is like a more coarse. You can see the diamonds in it. It's more of a coarse grit, 50 grit diamond stone. So I'll go ahead and swap that out. Take the 140 out, and we're going to come back to it. And I'm going to put the beast in there. So now I got the beast in there. And I'm going to start with that. Now you can definitely hear the difference. All right. That definitely took a good little bit of metal off. It's got a decent little burr on it too, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip it. Go to the other side with it. I really like this Civivi Qubit. It's a pretty good little knife. Really lightweight. Feels premium with the aluminum handle. Weed Knives does a premium version of it now too. I believe they use 20 CV with theirs. But the Civivi one comes in Damascus, and I think now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's Nitro V is Civivi's steel that they use a lot. I don't know if it's proprietary or not, but Nitro V I think is the standard for a Civivi knife. Well, for a lot of Civivi knives, but it's standard for the Qubit. So let's check this. Got a pretty good burr there. It's definitely a rough burr on that for sure. So I'm gonna flip it, and I'm gonna go down to my 140 and start, or go up to the 140 rather, from that 50, and I'll start progressing up. And I kind of hear the difference between the 140 and the 50 for sure. Once it knocks that initial burr off of there. So I'm gonna do 2 passes. Do 2 passes with this 140. Check out my burr. Got a good little burr on that. I'm gonna flip it. Go to the other side, do the same thing, 2 passes. All right. Definitely got a burr going on there. So I'm going to flip it and progress up. Take that 140 out of there. I'm going to go to the 300. I keep forgetting to show these things, but that's the 300 grit right there. Put it in there. I'm going to do 2 passes with that. This will be the last one that I do 2 passes on. Make sure I got a burr going on. Flip it over. 2 passes on this side. Take it out. Definitely got a burr on that. So I'm going to flip it. I'm going to take the 300 back out. And final is going to be this 600, I believe, on this. I don't want to make it too skatey again. I don't want to go too fine with it. So I'm going to avoid going all the way up to the 1500. 600 is a fine grit, technically, too, you know. It's kind of right in between, really. 600 is when you get into more fine grit, but it's still fairly coarse. And it's a good finishing grit for a lot of metals. I learned that off of watching a bunch of sharpening videos that Neves Knives did. And, you know, definitely the metal, the type of steel matters whenever you're going to a final grit for sure. So I'll check the burr. Got a good little burr on that. Flip it. I'm only doing it 1 time on this final grit, on the 600. All right. Check it and see if it's got a burr, which it does. So I'm going to flip it. And I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 upward passes to knock the majority of the excess metal off the end. Kind of knock the burrs off there. Smooth it over a little bit. So 5 or so. It doesn't have to be exactly 5. It could be 4. It could be 6, whatever. So just a few kind of upward passes on your final grit on each side. Put that back in the holder. All right, I'll take this off of here. And one thing I'm going to do before I forget is I like to take a little bit of this 3-in-1 oil. This is just regular 3-in-1 oil. Just put it in a different container and put it right here on the, when you're using the KME, it helps a lot. Put it right there where that plate makes contact with this other plate. A little bit there, a little bit there, and a little bit on that ball that rolls the slide rod in and out right there. You know, kind of keep like a good little sheen of oil on it. Helps a lot to make this thing last a long time. And this thing's lasted me a good, I mean, I've had it a couple of years so far, and hasn't, I don't think I've had anything break on it that I can remember. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the strop. And I always finish with a strop. So I'm going to go a couple little light passes with the strop. Just to kind of knock any excess edge that might, you know, metal that might be on there off. Put that back up. All right, now here's the test. Let's see. See if this thing cuts paper. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, I'll just have to reprofile the edge again, I guess. I don't know. Oh, yeah. A lot better. Yeah. That is a lot better. 100%. So that is the Civivi Qubit. Reprofiled, if you could call it that. Let me see if I can get that edge in there. You can see that. It's still shiny. It's not a mirror though. I don't have a mirror edge on there anymore. It's 600 grit edge is what that is. That's on Civivi's Damascus that they use for this Qubit. Now I have heard that Civivi uses 10CR layered on 8CR. I don't really know what they put in their Damascus. So it's, you know, whatever. I don't know what exact steels they use on the Damascus, but I do know on the Damascus, on this Qubit, you know, not speaking of the Damascus they use on other knives. I got a little grind right there. It seems like, to me anyway, it seems like that 600 grit finish is the way to go and not go all the way up to like a high mirror shine. So may have different experiences with yours, you know. I'm not sure, but that's the Damascus on the Civivi Qubit. So like I said, I don't know 100% what metal I'm dealing with. So wish they would list that, you know, on their website. Would be really nice. They can tell us what Damascus they're using. But I love this little Qubit. I still have to do a review of it. Great little knife. Kind of wishing I would have got it in the shoot, I keep forgetting, the Nitro V, you know, the steel that Civivi uses more, or 14C28N maybe or something. But in Damascus, it's really good looking. I like that raindrop kind of pattern on there, you know. I think that's really cool looking. But I don't know, if it's really cool looking, that's great, but I don't care if it's just plain metal, if it holds an edge, you know. Really cool looking doesn't do anything for me if it doesn't hold an edge at all. So anyway, that's the Qubit in Damascus, Sunday sharpening right there. Appreciate everybody watching. Let me know what you guys think of the new, not new, but of the camera angle from the side. This is just on the side with a tripod. Normally when you're watching me sharpen something, you're looking from up here, you know. Let me know if you think this is better. I'll start doing the sharpenings like that, you know. I do favor the above view myself because I can kind of see what I'm, you know, putting on camera and what I'm not. But I can do it from the side like this too. I just thought maybe it would be a better view, you know, a better angle kind of. Might not be, I don't know. Just let me know. So anyway, this is a Knight's Edge. Thanks for watching, and see you guys on the next one.